Namaste, this is New India Junction, and I'm your host, Nivedita Tiwari. On the 5th of August 2020, the foundation stone for the Ram Temple is going to be laid at Shri Ram Janmabhoomi in the holy city of Ayodhya. To talk about this historic day and to discuss its significance for the cultural consciousness of our country, we have with us today Shri Ashok Chowgule ji, the working president of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Ashok ji, welcome. Sir, I would like to begin with asking you about what went into the movement's culmination into this historic day. If you could give us a glimpse into the struggles of the people involved, the conviction and the persistence it took to reach here. And also in one of the articles written for Hindu Vivek Kendra, you mentioned that there was an effort in 1990 to recover the site through dialogue. Not many people are aware of that. So if you could also talk about that a little.
So, as Nivedita, as you have said, that this has been a long struggle for recovery of this site, and this struggle started from 1528 AD onwards, when the temple at that site was destroyed by Babur or by his instructions of Babur, and that what was called a Babri Raja that was built on its place. Even within that, the people, the Hindus, did not accept that vandalization. They said, okay, we have a claim on this one, and they wanted to establish the claim. And finally, within 50 years, the Ram Chabutar was set up in what could be called like the premises, within the premises of the Babri structure. Premises means in the not in the main structure itself, but very close to it, and the continuous particular prayers to Sri Ram were being conducted in that Chabutar on a 24-hour basis. The objective was for the Hindus to to keep their claim, not to give up the claim, and with the hope that sometime in the future that they will be able to fully recover the site. So the memory should not be forgotten, or the claim should not be forgotten. Okay, so that is there. In addition, there was also Sitaki Rasoi nearby, where also prayers, worship was being done. And since then, there have been also many continuous particular fights, battles, for the recovery, like the lakhs of people, have sacrificed their lives. From what we know, that recorded, something about 77 battles have been conducted, small and large. At the same time, the Hindus also took up the case legally when there was the British rule in the area, and in 1886 there is a judgment from the court which says that it's most unfortunate that the mosque should have been built on a site considered holy by the Hindus. So it was, that means, that then also it was accepted, that this is not just a site belonging to the Hindus, it's a holy site. So meaning that it's a Janma. Then afterwards, again, but we did not get, the court did not give the possession back to the Hindus at that time for their own political colonial agenda. And the struggles continued, and there were some riots in that area, and so many sort of incidents happened. But on the Ram Chabutar, the Ram's prayers to Sri Ram were continuing. So that Hindu claim was never never given up in that whole area. Then from 1947 onwards, since independence, the momentum picked up a little bit, particularly with the appearance of the statues of Ram Lalla in the structure, and then it became a place where Hindu prayers were now happening in the structure itself, and not just at the Chabutar. Then there were legal cases that were filed at that time also, and all these things, okay, various particular case and with the way the legal cases are happening, see, so those things are, it has its own dynamics, unfortunately, okay, in terms of getting the delays done. Then during the time of the Chandrasekhar government, in December, I think, December 1990, there was he had organized a discussion on the subject, and the term for the discussion was whether there was a Hindu temple that was that in honor of Sri Ram that existed in 1528, and that temple was destroyed, and the Babri Raja, okay, came in its place. That was the terms of the discussions. So Vishwendra Parishad, was already in the process of collecting all the data with the help of a large number of academics, and literary people. We had, okay, Dr. S.P. Gupta, we had Professor K.S. Lal, Professor P.R. Grover, and many others that were there. There were also a set of legal luminaries that were also involved in getting in putting this document together. Additionally, okay, there were other people, okay, who helped in compiling all the data, together. It's a really quite a long list, and that is available in our in the Vishwendra Parishad website, where we have uploaded, okay, that the complete set of documents that we presented, okay, to the Chandrasekhar government. In this document, okay, not only did we put up the case, okay, the Hindu case, we also responded, okay, to the case that was made against the temple. This was done by an organization called All India Babri Masjid Action Committee, and they too had academics, but all these academics were the Marxist academics who have been trying to dominate the intellectual space since 1947, dominating by capturing, okay, state institutions which were funded, okay, by the Samaj, and not, okay, like independent institutions, okay, that they themselves, okay, set up. Uh, so we gave a point by point response to them. However, whatever points that Vishwendra Parishad had put up there, okay, were not responded to. And when when this when these Marxist historians realized, okay, the strength of our case, they started to the program of creating confusion, and put in all sorts of aspects, try to give the case a political color, whereas it was the case is of a civilizational and cultural color. Politics is not comes completely secondary to the case, because, okay, we have to establish, okay, the site. We also need to recognize, okay, that why the site is important, because, okay, it's a Janma Bhumi of a Maryada Purushottam. It's not Sri Ram is not just not just an ordinary human being, or even we can say divine particular human being. He is a Maryada Purushottam, to whom, okay, people, okay, look up to as an example, okay, of how they should be conducting themselves in their own lives. And when you have a Maryada Purushottam, a person who is considered Maryada Purushottam, there has to be a fitting monument in his honor at his birthplace. And what is that fitting monument? Obviously, okay, the fitting monument will be, in our particular culture, will be a temple. No other particular structure at that place, will have the significance that a temple will have to honor the Maryada Purushottam. So this has been a long struggle. Whatever documentation, okay, which we put together in this in December 90, those were exactly the same document, okay, that we also presented, okay, to the courts. Whatever responses, okay, the opposite side gave the same documents what they had given earlier, at that time. So there was what had come to the court was really in some ways, okay, nothing new. what had happened based on those documents and understanding the Hindu case, the court felt that they needed more investigation done, particularly archaeological investigation. So then there was the ground penetration radar aerial surface system based on which the Archaeological Survey of India did lot more digging up around that particular where that structure had stood, and that evidence, whatever was reinforced whatever was presented earlier. We must also remember that in 1975 to 77, there was a series of archaeological investigation done under a program called Ramayan sites. This was led by Professor B.B. Lal, who retired as the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, and they were assisted by many people. And it was not only at Ayodhya that they did it at other places also, okay, which are related to the Ramayana, like Chitrakoot and others, and to establish, okay, like the historicity of the Ramayana, and therefore the historicity of Sri Ram. Uh, So that evidence, okay, and so whatever was done, the court order archaeological investigation, again reinforced, okay, what was done in 1975 to 1977. See, so whatever was the as far as the legal case is concerned, these are more going through the process, okay, of the legal of legality. And you see, again, here also many particular luminaries, okay, offered their services, okay, they, all of them offered, okay, without charging anything to the Hindus, and therefore, okay, we got this momentous decision of November 9, 1990, where they unanimously, okay, five bench court, unanimously decided, okay, that this site, okay, should be handed over to the Hindus.
This was a battle which was fought passionately in the court of law, and it was won there. And you also mentioned briefly about some of the other people that were involved. So if you could talk a little more about the unsung heroes of the movement.
Again, there were large numbers. As you rightly called them, the unsung heroes. Unfortunately, okay, like they are the ones, okay, who are not given. At the same time, okay, in the manner in which, okay, like saying the intellectual discourse is conducted, not just in India but all over the world, on issues related to Hinduism and India. The ones who project a negative image of India and Hinduism, they are the ones, okay, whose names become prominent. But those who have who project want to project Hinduism with a man in empathy with empathy, they are just like sidelined, almost literally, okay, like they will be sidelined to the extent that they will be not called, okay, for the for all the seminars. Their papers will not be allowed to be published. They will not they will not get that recognition, okay, that is needed for them. So, but this is something that, okay, Hindus, I think at the moment, we are not just not living with it, but we are contesting it also. And this is a movement all over the world. And there are people, okay, who are not born Hindus, who have once they have come to study the matter, have come and to understand, okay, like the importance of Hinduism. Correct? So there we need to probably make a document where we have all these names put together at one place. It's not that these people are not, okay, they have not been recognized, but because, okay, that it is the names have come in different places, okay, that you don't understand the significance of the effort of each one of them. When you see them, when you see, say, 35, 40 names together, and not just the names, okay, the quality of of those people, understand the quality of people, then the moment, okay, that is, there will be much greater. Post, okay, the destruction of in 1992, this 6 December 1992. you see, we have had a lot of people who have come forward. Prominent among them, is of course for us, for the Hindus is, Sir Vidyadhar Naipaul, who got a Nobel Literature Prize in 2002. And there's a seminal interview that he gave to Dilip Padgaonkar. It's a very long interview in July 1993, and that goes to the heart of the movement, of the ethos of the movement. As I said, okay, this is, and he very nicely explained how that particular movement is not just a question of what can be called bricks and mortar, that is construction of the temple, how it goes okay beyond it, and how that movement has created brought, what I would call the Hindu awakening from a level of subconscious, okay, to the conscious. You see, and I think he's gone through it, okay, very, very nicely, very calmly. And I think, it is a thing that has to be recognized over there. And at the same time, I think the manner in which, okay, Dilip Padgaonkar was trying to, I'm sorry to use the word, to provoke him, to what I would, okay, I sometimes I come with my activist language, and I say that to provoke him to badmouth the movement, provoke, okay, Naipaul to badmouth. Okay, for example, he said to Naipaul, the people who went on top of the dome were not people in long robes and ash on their forehead. You see, so you can see the imagery that he's trying to create to influence, okay, the mind of Naipaul. You see, he continued, like Padgaonkar continued. He said there were people in jeans and t-shirts. Now, jeans and t-shirts, okay, is a sign of modernity. Long robes and ash on the forehead is like, for him, is a sign of regressiveness. You see, so, and Naipaul then, okay, we said very nicely, you must understand the passion that took them on top of the dome. Jeans and t-shirts are irrelevant. Okay, so this one sentence itself, or this couple of sentences that Naipaul has expressed, okay, I think goes to the heart of the feelings of the Hindus, Hindus at large. Okay, you see, okay, we will be modern. At the same time, we are not going to forget, okay, our own ancient traditions, our own ancient civilization, our own ancient norms. That is there. In fact,
Yeah. So I think it's interesting that you mentioned Naipaul, and I feel that I read that interview, and I feel that it is special because you know that Sir Naipaul is known for his staunch commitment to truth. He doesn't mind being politically incorrect, and also he sort of does not give in to the pressures of the or he did not give in to the pressures of the intellectual ecosystem to which he belongs. So I feel while reading that interview, I felt that it is quite special.
yeah, let me give you my particular own experience. Okay, when I of that interview itself, this was the period, okay, when there was not much television, definitely no internet. Everything at that time was the written word that people looked at. So, and this was, I can't exactly remember the date in July, but it was a Sunday. For some reason, in the evening, when I was after my dinner and going to bed, I took up the newspaper to read before going to sleep. Something that I had not, I rarely do, did take in that, read a book or that, but not a newspaper. Uh, and then when I read that particular whole piece, okay, I read it twice. You see, so because it was so impactful, that whole thing. You see, and I don't know why it happened. There are some other things that happened to you. You see, in your life, okay, that are not explainable. That why would I take a newspaper of Naipaul? Okay, that to read about an interview of Naipaul is what I would say inexplainable. There. And that is when I realized, and after I read that interview and I read a little bit more about Naipaul, I realized that what he wrote earlier, his three particular books, were again, as you rightly said, it was truth. It was what he observed.
Yeah.
It was observed. some other particular, and he also says that this observation that is there in the first book was to him was depressing. See, but later on, okay, he realized, okay, in his further books that he wrote again based on his observation, it was if one some ways, okay, those further books were more like a travelogues, but cultural civilizational travelogues. You see, and then he realized, okay, the hope that he expressed over there. And I think this is how he came to looking at this whole movement, Ram Janmabhoomi movement, and that is the hope that is there, and the resurgence, okay, of Hinduism that happened. I think that is what he expresses in that interview, context of the Ram Janmabhoomi. That awakening that happened, and that happened all over the world. The bricks for the Shila Pujan in 1989, had come from every particular nook and corner of the world wherever there were Hindus. Every one of them were donated, okay, like sent, okay, those bricks, okay, by whatever means, okay, post or somebody coming carrying them, okay, as a sort of yatra to come to the Janmabhoomi site. All those bricks that are there, whatever we have, are preserved at the Ram Janmabhoomi site, in the context, along with all the carved pillars, stone pillars that are there, which will be used in the construction of the mandir. We will give this particular bricks also a prominent place, because that is it's a monument, okay, for the Hindus of the world who participated in the movement.